Okay. No, it doesn't matter what you're saying. Some people, they can't have 2 or 3 conversations about relationships without talking about DV or cheating, infidelity. Those are the topics that people are obsessed with. Okay. So now we're talking about Priscilla, right? She got married. When she was about to get married, we talked about it. We talked about some things, but now she's married, and now she's in the marriage phase. And inside of marriage, you have multiple different phases too, right? And now she and him, Juma Jux, have decided somehow, some way, to expect a baby. They're bringing a baby. They're growing their family immediately. And there's a serious debate here that's been going on for a few years, believe it or not, about when is the right time. How soon is it too soon to start growing your family once you get married? It's a conversation that we all can have as soon as, because again, regardless of where you are in the phase, we should all talk. We should all have some of this conversation because it's a mindset thing. We're not talking about on paper. Yes, there are all the stages on paper, but I'm going to give you, see, the extreme end of this, the extreme end of romance is a talking stage. You met somebody, right? And you're talking about, you met somebody and you're talking and you're having a conversation. It's romantic. You kind of fancy each other. You might like each other, right? Maybe you're just trying to figure things out, but you're attracted to each other and you're even yet to go on a first date. So it's a talking stage, right? Why should you have the mindset of a marriage at that point in time? I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, now you've been married for 35 years, the other extreme end of it. Let's just give 35 years. You've been married for 35 years. Okay, how do I know? I have clients that have been married for 35 years and have 1 or 2 struggles here and there. Usually it's around communication strategies. Okay, how could people be married for 35 years and struggle with communication? Could make sense. What were you looking at when you were meeting that person? How come you didn't know the person in the beginning? Anyway, I just dropped the post. Shout out to Abby. Abby, I see you. Right? So what was that person looking at? What were you looking at that you married a person that you will struggle with communication 35 years into the marriage? What a question, right? It makes sense. Every question is valid, shouldn't it? There's no stupid questions. There's no stupid questions, okay? If you're trying to learn, if the objective is to try to learn how relationships work, in my books, there's no stupid question, as long as it's a question. Okay? Now, if it's not a question, which most people having conversation on the internet is not questions. People just want to air their opinion. If it's not a question, there can be stupid opinions. So let me warn you, I'm nice, but not always nice. Okay? I generally will not look at the question and say it's a stupid question. Some rhetorical question, I'll just tell you it's a stupid question because I can read it already that is rhetorical. I know you made up your mind already. So when you're asking, I can tell. We know what questions are created from a place of you already made up your mind. Some of those can be stupid. Okay. But if the objective, okay, I can even apologize. If you say no, I just wanted to learn. If you correct me, maybe because sometimes I'll jump ahead of myself and assume, right? Assumptions, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, right? It's not good to assume. So, but the point I'm making there is that questions are perfectly fine. If we're asking questions, just ask questions. So I've dropped the poll. There. Is it too soon? Is it too soon for a baby? And it's like an age-old debate, at least in modern times. Some people will say, hey, I want to wait 5 years once we get married before we start creating babies. Okay. I used to have an opinion around this. I still have my preference. It's more of a preference, not an opinion, really. Right. And but in recent times, I find that, like I told you earlier, sometimes I'm close-minded to a certain extent, right? But what I find is that you can't put God in a box. That's something we attempt to do from time to time. You can't put God in a box, aka you cannot put people in a box. People will do what they have to do. It's all organic. The evolution is organic. Shout out to Cool Mama. I see you. I see you, Mama. People will put their, they'll project. They will project what they feel on you. They might even call it stats. Oh, by the way, they will find more than enough statistics to justify any bullshit. They might even find scriptures to justify the bullshit. So anyway, you have the extreme end, which is talking stage. Talking stage. You're talking. And then you have the extreme end, 35 years old. They're struggling with communication. The mindset you need to maintain is the same. Number one is one day at a time. Okay, it doesn't matter if you've been in it for months. That's why some people say, I've been married for 35 years, and somehow their opinion is supposed to be valid. Not necessarily true. In fact, the only time I ask about your status is if somebody says something stupid. Then sometimes I will ask what the status is, just to confirm what I already feel. Sorry, I know I'm petty a little bit sometimes. Okay, just to confirm what I already feel, I might ask the status. But generally speaking, I don't need to know the status, because honestly, there's more than enough people, very intelligent people, that actually it doesn't matter what their status is. I won't need to ask. What they said made sense. But if what they said sounds like it came from somebody's ass, yeah, sometimes I might just ask, what's your status? Give me some context. Like, it's like asking for explanation. Explain that stupid point you just made, basically. Right? So sometimes we'll do that. And if you look around you, you will notice that's when people ask about status. Generally, people will want to respect your private life. They don't want to know your status. You made an opinion. It's okay. Everybody can know. Opinion is like asshole. Everybody can have one, right? Until you say something stupid, and then suddenly they want to revoke your license to have an opinion. Right? So the internet is a very interesting place. The mindset to sustain relationship long term starts with one day at a time. Learn how to sustain a healthy relationship for one day. It's iterative in nature. Learn how to sustain a relationship for one day. Now, sometimes you have to go into the past to pull out lessons. Even in project management or in any of your management courses, all that kind of corporate stuff, sometimes you have to go into the past to learn, right? The old thing about AI right now is useless without machine learning. Iterative, ongoing. It doesn't stop. There's no stopping it. So what will make me and you as human beings stop is coconut head. Is the number one destructive element in human beings when it comes to relationship. Pride, which is also obviously linked to unrealistic expectation. So I asked that young man I was talking about earlier on. I said, hey, so you want to see in the phone? Yes, now you have to be open. I said, okay. He said, because as I enter a relationship, my phone is open. Okay, let me wait a second. It's not about the phone. You have to think deeper. So you keep your phone open. Why? Not because you want to be open. You're telling me indirectly that you keep your phone open so that you can have a reason to ask the other person to keep their phone open. That's why. Because if you just keep your own phone open just because it's the right thing to do, it should be enough. You do the right thing, that should be enough. But you do the right thing with expectations, pride, unrealistic expectations. They are all linked together. These are the things that people are struggling with when it comes to romantic relationships. Some things might even work short term. So for example, you meet a young lady and she's like, yes, let's hold ourselves accountable. Let's hold ourselves. I can be accountable. I'm a logical. I was taught by a bunch of grown men crying, asking for respect on social media, right? I was taught that women don't like to be held accountable, so I should be held accountable. Wait until she's having sex with you. I'll just wait. I'll be here, gentlemen. I'll wait. By the way, lack of accountability when it comes to people that are having sex is not one-sided. Men tend to struggle with accountability too. I said tend to? No, they all struggle. It's not tend to. They all struggle with accountability. So, mismanaged expectations, mismanaged pride and ego. Those are there together. Just join them together. Those are the destroyers of people's happiness when it comes to both short and long-term relationship, but most especially long-term relationship. So the mindset you need to have here, stop separating. When we are making points about how to stop separating, oh, it's just relationship is different. No, it is not that different. It's different, but don't make it different. Decide it is not different. How you treat your partner, somebody said, don't say partner, weirdos. Your partner, how you treat your partners in a relationship today, in one day relationship, it's a mindset. It's something about your mindset that helps you do it the right way. Same mindset is what you're going to need long term. Before you know it, life is going. Before you know it, there's 5 years, there's 7 years, there's 18 years, there's 35 years. Doesn't mean it can't break down at 35 years. No, it will break down sometimes, but you have the skill to rebuild things back up. You understand me? Y'all feel me? All right, so let me come to the chat, see if I missed anything. All right, so again, we're talking about Priscilla Ojo. So they're in this phase. They've decided. Again, I dropped the poll. Vote. Let me see what you guys are thinking about. I would like to know. Then I'll give you what my preference is personally. It's a matter of preference. And when I say preference, let's take it with a pinch of salt, okay? It's just preference. It's very useless. People's preferences are very, very useless. They are oftentimes, when it comes to romance, they're very far from reality. Okay? Very far. In fact, I'm going to tell you a story of a single mother in a second here. Let me read this chat. Let's see. What did I miss? Abby said, I don't really know if it's too soon. Different strokes for different folks. She's young, but also has achieved a lot. I just hope she's also mature and emotionally ready for this phase. Huh? Right? Good one. Let's see. Tokwe P. Shout out Tokwe P says, I think Jux was the one that is desperately ready for marriage and baby due to his age and past. And Priscilla is just blown away with the way the guy showed her love and she felt secured. My take. I agree, Tokwe. I agree a lot. You know, I was listening to Dr. Akboki and he said women, he said he doesn't do darling or dear and things like that to women because I forgot exactly how he said it, but basically women can multiply that as per usual. Okay, so they can multiply it beyond your powers. Okay, you know how people, that wasn't my intention. I didn't mean to say darling. Oh, when I touch your shoulder, I didn't mean to. Yeah, that's you overrating your intentions again. Told you it's the same mindset. It's the same mindset from day one to your intentions are overrated. You should have good intentions. You should be a good guy and a good girl. You should be a virgin, a born again virgin, all over, 10 times over. Okay? That's good for you. Clap for yourself. That's bare minimum. You're going to need skills when it comes to relationship between you and another human being. I know you're supposed to be one, but you need skills. This is where people struggle. Anyway, so I agree with you, Tokwe. Absolutely. In terms of is Jukes desperate for a baby and stuff like that? Hey, listen, the same thing you do to women or do for women to make them fall in love with you is what you're gonna have to keep doing. You know what we do as human beings? We get complacent. See, finish is a bastard. We get tired. We don't always know it. We're just trying to do life. Some of us lie to ourselves. Say it's duty. It's duty. Why would you get inside of a marriage and then suddenly change? Yeah. So, oh, she punished you with sex. Oh, by the way, that's the number one way that women cheat. Weaponizing sex. However, gentlemen, you don't want to look at it that way. If you look at it that way, it will get worse. Okay? But that's the number one way that women cheat inside of marriage, withholding sex. So yeah, it's real. It's real. Toby and Tribe, shout out to you. She said, with pregnancy, man proposes, God disposes. Sometimes when you want it, you don't get it. That's a good angle. And so if it comes and you're capable, just thank your stars. You're jumping ahead of me, Toby and Tribe. That sounds so close to my preference. It's not a real preference, but it's somewhat of a preference, you know? Speaking of preferences, so this young lady, she says she's in her 40s. She asked me a question. She said, well, she came out of a marriage. a very bad marriage. You know, the way she described it, sounds like she called it loveless marriage. Everybody that came out of a bitter marriage think their marriage is loveless. They all think that way, all of them. Some are, but the minority are. The majority is not loveless. It just feels that way now after when I don't show each other shiggy. Yeah, it's I know it's tough when you come out of a marriage and you suddenly realize that person, you didn't realize that person hated you this much. Is it me that will not convince you otherwise? I understand why you feel the way you feel. Anyway, she described it, and now she thinks that she can only get with only white men. That she's not looking for anything. The only thing she's looking for is white men, a Caucasian man. She's looking for a Caucasian man, and that's it, and no more, no less. And she swore that her two daughters, that they will never get with a broke man. That it is a thankless job to help a man that she does not want to raise. She said, not Bob the builder, neither does she want to raise a Barbara the builder. So she's warning our girls, if a man is broke, don't get with that man. Are you shocked?
He shocked you.
All right, so anyway, so after she said all that, she finally got to the question. She said, because she saw me, shout out to Uncle Menu. She said she finally got to the question, which is, but people are saying it's only leftover Caucasians that will end up with someone like her. So she's been listening to a room full of men with certain ideologies, you know, and most of them, obviously, they are dragging single mothers. And so she was wondering, like, they are saying, as a single mother, this and that most of our brothers don't want single mothers. So what do I say about that? So I've told you guys a story here before, but I won't be able to tell you guys today. That again, the point here is this: preference. We all have preferences. An average man, young man, his preference is to not be with a single mother. It makes sense because some of you single mothers will train your sons to not be with a single mother. It's just society. Preferences are not designed to be fair to you. People have their preferences. It is what it is. But also, one thing you should know about preferences is that they are very far from reality. So at some point, all of us will settle down, not settle for less. You attracted what you attracted. You attracted you, okay? You didn't settle for less. You settled down when you deemed it fit to settle down. Somebody said, but it was arranged. It wasn't my choice. You settled down. At that point in time, I hope you are well equipped to navigate the rest of your life. I hope you know that you have to invest in yourself to navigate the rest of your life, especially in 2025. You see, we used to be able to wing things. When I got married in 2007, I was winging things for the next 8 years. I'm one of the lucky ones. I was able to wing things through 8 years, right? Some people are lucky. Well, you're not going to be as lucky anymore because people know way too much and people think they have more options than they actually have. So in other words, they will shoot what you guys are cooking first before they realize that the options are terrible out there. Guess who go hurt? Everybody involved, especially the children. So I'm saying that to you just so you know that, again, preferences are very, very far from reality. Same thing is true when it comes to, should you do it too soon? Is it too soon? Is it too late? Should you just date each other for the next 5 years? When people say, I say, let me guess, you're the one deciding that it will happen suddenly in 5 years. If it doesn't happen, we just go to the labs. Okay, I hear you. Have you spoken to people that have been going to the labs? How easy that is. It's so easy, right? Just go to the labs and just impregnate yourself with a baby. Voila, you end up with the twins. You're like another Femi Fanikari. Is that how it works? Okay, maybe technology will help us to that point at some point. Okay, maybe technology will help us get there sometimes. Somewhere in the future, we're not yet there. I don't know if you will ever be there. Okay. But anyway, that's what I have to say about that one. Let me see here. So let's say it, Abby says, stop where P. A lot of women of Priscilla's profession fear that they aren't taken seriously by men due to rumors and stereotypes of them sleeping around. I can imagine that she also jumped at the opportunity. Yeah. But you know, you're going to get into a space in marriage where you would doubt your decisions. No. It's not just some of you. It's not those of you that didn't ask the right questions. It's everybody. Ola, speak for yourself. Okay. It's everybody. You will get into a space inside of that marriage where you will question your decision to get with this person. You won't even remember this moment. You will only remember this moment that I'm talking to you if God has blessed you and you're fortunate to get through that crisis and you're on the other side, and then you can relate with the sentence I just made. Fully, I didn't know shit. Right? You're going to go through that phase. It's not just marriage, by the way. In life, you will go through a phase. Many phases where you question your decisions. You question yourself. What do you typically do at that point in time? You point fingers. There's usually somebody close enough to you who has also been playing they've been playing the role of a narcissist very well. You can't tell us nothing. They were in fact a narcissist. Where they were the environmental factor. You are who you are. Okay, so that's going to happen. So at that point, you will question a lot of your decisions. So the same thing is going to be true for Priscilla, and also everybody who was close enough to age with June will question themselves. Now, does that negate the fact that the age distance, which is what people are talking about, I think they have like 10 years apart? No, it doesn't negate it. I generally don't. My preference is that people don't marry people with too far age distance. But oftentimes, by the time you're giving this advice, it's too late. You can't tell them nothing. They like what they like. Yeah? They like what they like. So it just, you know. So what I settled for teaching people how to build the relationship that they want. Starting with, you like a person. They have the bare minimum character that you prefer, right? Based on your moral standards. But from that point is where you start. That's the ground zero. Now you need skills, actual skills to navigate that relationship. So now the cross that you're being bared to carry is going to be vary from people to people. For someone like Priscilla, she also has to carry the cross of being the celebrity, the noise, learning how to separate the actual signals that matter from the noise. That's going to be a major weight that she has to carry. We all have to separate noise from signals, all of us. But obviously, if you're a celebrity, now a lot of your energy, which everybody have limited amount of energy, has to gravitate towards managing that. It's a big deal. It's very big. So hopefully, like you guys are saying, that she has enough to be able to navigate that. Hopefully her mother is equipped. I don't think so. I don't think Iyabo Ojo is equipped well to help her navigate what she'll be going through, because Iyabo can just come home. She doesn't remember the reason why she's not going to marry Ogapolo. She doesn't have to answer to anybody. She has to answer to that Muslim husband. You can give what you don't have. Hopefully she has enough people in our community to help her navigate that. When you had the layer of pregnancy on top of it, oh, babies are beautiful. They are a blessing, truly. I know, because I've done it quite a few times. As a matter of fact, I just dropped my son. One of the things I took time off is I dropped to me in college for a college trial 1 week, right? So I've been doing this for a minute, right? So we have to navigate this. That's also a form of relationship. Same skill set in terms of navigating relationship between you and your young adult children. Oh no, just don't spare the rod, just use the rod. In 2025. Okay.
Sorry.
That's what's wrong with y'all. Everything is westernized. Everything is modernized. Me, I decide I will not westernize anything in my life except this phone that I'm using to listen to you. I will not be westernizing anything. Anyway, let me round up. Oh god, oh god. Gen Z shared their geolocation is normal for them. Thank you. As of relationship is not an audition for marriage. Uncle Benno, shout out to you, brother. Good to see you, sir. I've always thought couples getting pregnant immediately after marriage is not helpful, but now I think it makes little difference on the success of the union. Yes, it does have an impact. Exactly, Marriott. It does have an impact, but in the grand scheme of things, like, I don't know why I had to do my nose like that, but you know, so that's why I laugh when people try to make that a thing, you know. Let's see here. I see Uncle Beno is in the studio with me. All right, let's see. Bella says, Oga, you don't get money. Now, why? Okay, all right, you're right. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. To me, it's doing a college trial. Uncle Beno, talk to me, brother. Let's round up together. Good to see you, sir.
Hey, MOP Baba Alpha now.
Adele, where you dey? You told me you did on vacation now. You did friend you out there.
Only me they do vacation first. Now tomorrow I go carry on, go.
Your signal. I can't hear you. Can you guys hear him? Sometimes StreamYard be acting up. Let's see. Let me see. I missed something. Let me see. Why is it not showing up in my studio? MOP, you don't see it for this couple? No, this couple, I think they're gonna be fine. You know, I think if they have the right support system, I think they can be fine. Absolutely. Uncle Bello, you're back.
Yeah, sorry, a call came in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, basically, I missed most part of the show because I woke up late and then I entered and I say you don't deal with this topic. But I just wanted to ask if you covered this nonsensical narrative Auntie Kemi put out there about this innocent girl.
So, a couple of things. There were two people that gave out two nonsensical narratives. Thank you for bringing that up. Let me just do a quick summary of it and then you can speak to it. Auntie Kemi is saying that it's surrogacy. When I saw that, I just said, we're really doing war, Uncle Beno. I'm sorry. I can't take her too seriously. You know, she said it's surrogacy. She might have spoken a lot to it, but I saw the headline. I said, you want to see something, I just pass, you know. I just jump and pass. Yeah. But the second one is very dark, man, exposing the chat between Iyabo Ojo and the people that were fighting for justice for Mohbad. Very dark man said he was reading out some of the chat that the only reason, his interpretation is that the only reason why Iyabo Ojo was mad at Naira Marley was because, in fact, Naira Marley had allegedly drugged and violated Priscilla, her daughter. And she was very angry with that, but she won't tell the whole world the truth. And that's why she wanted the downfall of Naira Marley from the very beginning. Okay. Now, again, entertainment for me, I'm sorry. Sadly, you know, because I don't know what to make out of it, especially when a lot of things is saying there's no real substance in terms of any new discovery. Even the timeline, like for example, Oga Polo was saying on Daddy Free Show yesterday that Naira Marley was not in town when Mohbad was spied, right? I knew that from like 2 years ago. So where's the new information? So now suddenly he now knows. Maybe Oga Polo did not know and he discovered somewhere between that time and now, and he's saying it for the first time. But that was a moment for the rat. Was like, So they only wanted to bring down Naira Marley. So again, I use those things. I just cruise. It's very hard for me to spend too much talk. But I would love to hear your take on this, Shao. You know.
No, basically, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not interested whatever they got going on with that Mohbad story. It's they make a mess of it. They make the mess of it. They are all wrong as far as I'm concerned. Very Dark Man, Iyabo Ojo, Toto DK, all of them. Even though it seems like they have a good motive initially, they actually wanted the justice and all of that. But the
Right.
way it turns out, those folks, they are all bunch of nonsensical human beings. I'm so sorry, but I have to put it like that. It turns out they are actually profiting from the demise of
From the
Mohbad.
noise.
So yeah, so even right now, my guy VDM is pissing me off with whatever he's doing too. While I like the fact that okay, he's keeping the energy out there because people really want to have justice for Mohbad, but right now, what he's doing is more or less like vengeance. He's like is this kind of guy that is still looking for a pound of flesh you want to take from all the people that drag him there. So you know, I'm
Yeah.
the very Dark Man supporter, but right now he's acting somewhat stupid to me. So I don't really want to get into that. The only person that just concerns me right now is this Priscilla. Like I've always said, as a dad myself, I do understand that these young folks, the life they are living, we the parents, we created that life for them,
Yeah.
and this is their lifestyle, this is their thing. So how come Sister Kemi Olunloyo always try to drag that innocent girl? Whatever the girl do, she just turn her camera and started talking. That sister need to go and get healed.
Yeah.
She definitely, somebody, I don't know. Well, that's it, sha. Because most of these aunties that claim they know too much, what they end up doing is they chase everybody away from them, then they become isolated. So the only solace they have is to go to the internet and be talking to the fans that they thought is now their family, who are actually there to even laugh at them.
To just laugh.
You know,
Oh